We also want to bring you up to speed on what's moving in the currency markets today. In 2009, the trade was all about the Brazilian real, but top forecasters now say this year's hot currency is South Korea's won. Sara Eisen's been keeping us up to speed here on the currency trends. Why South Korea?
Brazil's out, South Korea's in. BNP Paribas strategists got it right, calling for the Brazilian real to rally last year. We saw it, world-beating rally. It went up 33%. Now they're saying, instead of the real, bet on South Korea's won. Here's why. South Korea's economy is on fire. Its exports are recovering. The government projecting that the economy is going to grow faster than expected this year at 5%. And strategists are saying, because the South Korea's economy is booming, the Bank of Korea is going to have to start to tighten up monetary policy to cool things down. Now, that could come in the form of an interest rate increase, or it could even mean letting its currency strengthen even further. Both would have the effect of controlling inflation, and both would be very bullish for South Korea's won. So two factors there going for the currency.
So is this all a bet on a recovery in consumer demand globally, factoring into the level of their exports?
That's part of it. South Korea is a huge exporter. They produce TVs and electronics, and their biggest buyer is China. So the whole China growth story helps South Korea and the recovery in global demand. Just last month, we saw exports recovering, bouncing to a level they haven't been in over a year. So that's really helping South Korea here. Now, the currency has been rallying. It was up about 8% last year, and it's standing right now at a 15-month high. But it is not too late, and BNP Paribas strategists say it has a lot of catching up to do. It hasn't rallied as much as some of the other emerging market currencies like South Africa's rand, for example, and Indonesia's rupiah. So there's still some value left. Another reason why everyone is just starting to love South Korean won.
Let me follow up, though, because we started this off talking about Brazil. They've got an election coming up. Does this mean that BNP Paribas has changed their outlook on the real, or is it just no longer their top call?
It's no longer their top call, and they are saying it's starting to look expensive. Now, it has rallied about 33%, and a lot of this was the overall rally in commodities currencies. It's one of those currencies that moves in the same direction as commodities. We saw this in the Aussie dollar, in New Zealand's dollar, in the Canadian dollar. Now, these currencies are still hot, and there's still a lot of bullish calls right now on the overall call that global demand is picking up, and that means demand for commodities, appetite for raw materials and commodities. That's very bullish for those currencies. Still, Brazil has really benefited from that trade already, and South Korea looks set to climb even further. It has some catching up to do. Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much, Sara Eisen, for bringing us up to speed on the currency markets. And you can log on yourself to Bloomberg.com for all of those latest figures and stories.